What is happening, Earth Signs? This is your girl, Venus Angel, here with another love reading for y'all. Hope y'all are ready for these dailies, because I know I am. Thank you so much, y'all, for tuning in. If you're unsure of your placements, want to know what cards I'm using, just like, okay, my other decks came falling down. Okay. If you want to know what decks I'm using, like the Fountain Tarot or the Wisdom Oracle, want to know what my social media is so you can follow it, or if you want to know how to partake in the soulmate investigation reading sale on my website, all that information is in the description box below. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into this, guys. And please remember that these readings may not resonate with everybody, and that's totally fine. Alright, I'm cool with it. So let's see what the hell is going on in your love lives for today. Okay, alright, fam, let's get into it. Alright. Wow, alright. So, starting out today, you guys have the Five of Swords, Ace of Coins, and the Ten of Coins. Coins being pentacles. Now, the Seven of Swords can indicate that there's something being avoided, or there is some things that are risky, that are, that may require you to step outside of your comfort zone and proceed with these risks. The Nine of Swords is definitely coming up in here with this, which is stress. Now, this is very interesting, considering that this is definitely a risk. Now, the Five of Swords does talk about going after what you want, ruthless behavior, kind of just, tunnel visioning a certain aspect, or tunnel visioning a certain goal, not looking to compromise. It can be end up going into compromising, but the Five of Swords usually talks about, have it your way or the highway, kind of very similar to the Emperor, but it's like it may cut ties with people. You may sever relationships with the adamancy of sticking to a certain perspective or way of thinking, believing, or sticking to a certain point, or trying to win something, or trying to win an argument. Because Five of Swords can indicate arguments, petty arguments especially, or it can indicate here that there is some things that may not be that serious. It's all about looking at the sole purpose of a situation. Now, for me, Earth Signs, I feel like there's something that you're really not anxious, but just really adamant about having, or adamant about, preventing, because I always see the Five of Swords as like you're doing everything that you possibly can to make sure you get a specific outcome, even if it does, you may not realize it may compromise relationships or whatever, right? Or may undo what you are trying to keep from being undone, right? This is why the Five of Swords has the reputation of being a saboteur card, because what you may be doing may be actually, the opposite of what you're trying to do, and unfortunately it can unravel. So I feel like the Five of Swords is really like you're adamant about doing something, adamant about kind of going in a certain direction, and your foreseeable future is the Ten of Coins. Like, I believe that whatever you feel like that you have to do, or feel like you need to do in a certain way, is the only way that you're going to get happiness. But I feel like the Seven of Swords is presenting you with a different perspective that will possibly be way more risky, because may not be something that you're wanting to do, like something that that's outside of your perspective, or it could be exactly that. Maybe you go into today knowing what you want, adamant about getting it, and willing to take the risk necessary to start this Ace of Pentacles. Start the new beginning. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and clarify. Why is the Five of Swords coming up for your start for the day? Because of the Page of Pentacles. Okay, so this can be tedious work. This can be something that's temporary, but does benefit you in the long run. It could be that someone offered you something, especially if this is a relationship or a work. Somebody offered you something that's to them very practical. So honestly, and it can also talk about starting something small, committing to something very small here. And I feel like doing the work necessary can honestly propel you forward. So the Seven of Swords is such a weird card to get under here, because I don't think this is avoidance, especially if the Five of Swords is what you're starting out with. You know what I mean? It's about, I feel like it's more of like taking a risk, putting yourself out there, and really, trying to figure out if the risk is worth the reward, right? Because fives are changes anyway, and usually how we come to a certain consensus is through arguments, or it's through conversations, it's through people that don't agree. So I feel like you come out with a certain proposal that you're finding that you kind of have to figure out really what is what you get back from all that. But your advice is the Ace of Pentacles. Your advice is the Ace of Pentacles, which to me indicates going ahead and starting something new, right? I think with the Five of Swords being here, just kind of starting out, it's really more of like people having to be cautious of you rather you being cautious of other people. But most importantly, just like you see that whatever you're adamant about doing, whatever you're adamant about taking on, it can lead you to potential happiness, but it's about committing to it first. Because I think there are probably other people around you trying to talk you down or trying to divert to a different topic. But it's like Five of Swords does talk about focusing on what needs to be done, focusing on what you need to do, and that's it. And the Page of Pentacles being the card of Page of Pentacles, that talks about looking closely at the details, looking very closely at what you get out of this. Because I feel like there's something that's offered here that you may or may not want, but it takes time. It's going to require you to either commit to what you believe you want or commit to this. But I feel like with the Five of Swords, it's all about just concentrating on the work that needs to be done. Just continue to just focus on right now. Focus on what you're doing, and don't let anybody else kind of jump in and divert any of your own expectations, any of your own goals, because it feels like there may be an offer that may be different than what you wanted. Even though it can probably get you there sooner, it may be really risky. So I feel like it's just like, I don't know, it's something telling me to take the long way, if that makes sense. Take the long way. Don't take the shortcut, because the shortcut may not get you to where you want to be, because there's a lot you could lose with that shortcut. But of course, right, if you feel that the shortcut's going to get you to where you want to be, then do so, right? Follow your intuition. Definitely don't listen to me. But something's telling me, like, be careful of the offers that you get, because they may not be what you want them to be. It may be something that you accept, but then turn around and find out that risk was perhaps too big to take, and it didn't go in the direction that you wanted. So I feel like the long road, it perhaps is the best way, because you have Pentacles energy here, which takes a long time anyway. So let's see what the hell additional advice we can get from the wisdom of the Oracle. Really weird message this time around. Between Worlds. Okay, so that Between Worlds talks about ending a phase of your life and starting something new, right? It's like that really weird, awkward phase of the beginning and end. So you see yourself kind of ending a situation as soon as you start it, but it's like Pentacles takes a long time to manifest. So I feel like with today, it's like in order for you to be able to begin a certain chapter, you have to let go of that chapter, of the initial chapter, right? In order for you to be able to move on to the next phase, the phase that you're currently in has to go. It has to end too. So I believe that I think there's somebody here that's trying to, that maybe is very selfish and looking out for their own interests, which is what the Five of Swords can indicate too. And even though this person probably is lying through their teeth right now just to get what they want, I feel like just trust your intuition, trust where you're going to go, because that's going to help you through. Be careful then, right? Be careful. But yeah, guys, interesting reading this time around, but I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. Thank you all so very much for tuning in, guys, and I will see you guys very soon. Take care, family. Bye now.